This is a 27-inch 2K IPS gaming monitor with a refresh rate of up to 210 Hz that supports adaptive sync, and it has Overdrive, which reduces ghosting to give you that buttery smooth and responsive gameplay. It also looks beautiful while doing it, with great color accuracy and HDR400 support that just makes the image pop. Solid mid-tier specs with fantastic performance, yet somehow at a budget price of under $200. This is the KTC,
oh gosh, this is long,
the H27T22C-3.
It could probably use a better name.
In the box you get the power cord, the charging brick that it goes into, a DisplayPort cable, not HDMI, so keep that in mind. Then we have the two pieces that make up the stand, and the monitor itself. The base has a good weight to it, and it's wide enough to keep it stable. Underneath, we have 5 grippy feet, which should help prevent it from sliding around your desk. It also comes with screws, and a small Phillips head so you can attach it to the arm. Now, on the back of the monitor, we have a universal 100 by 100 VESA mount that's inside this slot for the included stand, which just clips in from the top down. Now with it, the only adjustment we get is tilt. Wish they at least gave us a height adjustment, but considering it's a budget monitor, I'll take what I can get. And under it, we have about less than 4 inches of clearance. Let's talk design and build quality. The stand is made of metal, sounds great, and it has an opening down the middle that you can use for cable management. Now the monitor itself has a sleek, low-key design that looks pretty good. None of that over-the-top futuristic gamer look, which I appreciate. That makes it so this can blend into your room or even at an office.
With professional people.
The back has some geometric detailing throughout that lines up with these vents, but nothing too flashy. It's mostly made of plastic, which keeps it lightweight, but it's not cheap. It feels very rigid and durable. Then on the front, we have slim bezels all around, along with the KTC icon down in the center, which is very discreet. Over on the back, we have all our ports. First up, DC for power, a USB-C service port for firmware updates. Next, we have 2 HDMI 2.0 ports that max out at 144 Hz, followed by 2 DisplayPort 1.4 ports that max out at 240 Hz. And finally, we have our good old friend, the 3.5mm audio jack. So no, at this price, we don't get USB-C or a USB hub, nothing extra like that, but I am glad to see the pairs for both HDMI and DP. Then on the lower left of the back, we have a clicky power button that doubles as a joystick to navigate the menu. Moving to specs. It's a 27-inch IPS panel with a 2K or QHD 2560 by 1440 resolution. It has a native 200 Hz refresh rate, but you can overclock it to a slightly higher 210 Hz, and it has a 1 millisecond response time. But just keep in mind that you will need both hardware and games that are capable of reaching those higher frame rates. If not, don't worry, this monitor still works well for anything below that, and you won't have to worry about screen tearing or stuttering because it has support for adaptive sync with both G-Sync and FreeSync compatibility. It also has up to 450 nits of brightness, a 1001 contrast ratio, and it covers 131% of the sRGB color space and 96% of Adobe RGB. Another thing to note, the screen has a matte finish that softens reflections, which I personally do prefer since I have a lot of ambient light around me, and I don't feel that it hurts the image quality, especially at a normal viewing distance. Now, like with any new monitor, once you've got it set up, the first thing you want to do is test and calibrate it. I like to keep it simple and just go through ISO's monitor test, which covers all the basics such as checking for dead pixels. Luckily, I had none. You can also view gradients that I found had no noticeable banding, sharpness that I was very surprised by, text even at tiny sizes was tack sharp, and high frequency line patterns were crisp and distinct. Brightness levels look good, same for viewing angles. And they also have a page for response time, but you're much better off using the UFO test site for that since it gives you so many more options to play with. So out of the box, the picture on this looks good. They have a few presets for different situations, but I'd always suggest adjusting it to your environment and what looks best to your eyes. After a few tweaks, it went from good to great. Text looked sharp, gradients were smooth, and overall image clarity was way better than I expected. At this price point, I wasn't expecting picture quality to compete with OLED, but it's surprising how close it can get thanks to HDR. Specifically, it's Visa's certified HDR400, which means it can hit that peak 400 nits of brightness and display a wider color range. Keep in mind, you first have to make sure everything is set up for it, but with compatible games, this monitor just looks incredible. It doesn't have advanced local dimming, but it gives you brighter highlights and richer colors along with some deep, inky tones. But you still do get a very slight amount of IPS glow that's most noticeable in darker scenes since we don't get those perfect blacks. But it's minimal, and you won't really see it unless you're looking for it. Now, even as a budget option, they do manage to throw in a few additional features. First, to help avoid eye strain, they have eye care features such as an anti-glare coating. It also has anti-flicker technology and a low blue light filter. There's also a few gaming-related features such as an on-screen FPS crosshair that you can get in different sizes and colors, along with an FPS counter. And they even packed dual speakers in this thing. They're built in and shoot out the back, but they're only 2 watts, which isn't very loud. Overall, I'd say they're okay in a small room, but they clearly lack power, which makes them sound flat. So if you don't have speakers, they may come in handy, but if possible, you're much better off using the 3.5mm audio jack. Performance-wise, this thing absolutely holds its own. Competitive shooters at this resolution, with this refresh rate, and at that 1 millisecond response time are such a blast on here. Now, clearly, a high refresh rate won't magically make you a better player, but it definitely makes the experience smoother and more responsive, which can really help. That sense of immediacy you get when the screen reacts instantly like that, it just really pulls you in. Then, thanks to Adaptive Sync, you also don't have to worry about screen tearing, but you can still get ghosting or trailing. Now, to help with that, some monitors have features like backlight strobing or black frame insertion to blend pixels together, which helps reduce things like ghosting or motion blur, but that comes at a cost, which is why you see it on more expensive monitors. So of course, that's why this monitor doesn't have those features. But it does have Overdrive, and it is awesome. To keep it simple, it pretty much gives pixels an electrical boost that increases their response time, which makes it faster than its natural speed, that reduces the ghosting that occurs, which means it also reduces motion blur and gives you a much clearer and sharper image. It has 4 modes: standard, advanced, ultra fast, and dynamic. And yes, you can also turn it off. But this isn't a case where faster is better, so I found that in most games, standard and advanced work best, and the ultra fast sort of bugs out a bit. I dug into it, and that seems to be from pixel overshoot, which creates these types of bright or dark glows around objects, which cause a type of inverse ghosting. So like I said, stick to the first 2 to keep it stable, but it's also worth trying the dynamic mode to see how it performs with specific games. I found that it did a good job, and even in some intense gameplay, it stops short of producing that overshoot effect. Now, I've been using this monitor for the last few weeks, and I've been having a blast with it. So whether you're looking for your first gaming monitor or want to upgrade your current one, I think this one's a fantastic choice that looks great, performs even better, and the fact that it's a budget option at less than $200 makes it a no-brainer. It's one of the easiest recommendations I can make. But let me know what you think in the comments, and let's talk. Also, if you want to get your hands on one while supporting us at the same time, please check out the affiliate links in the description below. This is Sergio AM. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you for the next box. If you like this video and want to help us out, click that thumbs up button and leave a comment below so we can talk. Now, if you want to go further, subscribe and ding the bell to stay notified whenever we post a new video. You made it to the end, and I just want you to know that you are the reason we do what we do. This is Sergio AM, and I'll see you for the next box.